Hey, what's up? I'm now at my next destination here in Turkey, in Selcuk, the town which is essentially the gateway to Ephesus, one of Turkey's most famous sites, UNESCO World Heritage Site, ancient Roman city. And check out my room here. I'm going to give you a little tour. Ayasoluk Hotel, here with a great view of the surrounding area in Selcuk. So let me show you. Really neat. And the ensuite here, very nice. Loving the rug and the blanket. Here's the view from this side. But the best part from this room is the gateway to the pool. Restaurant is just over here, and the view of the surrounding area. So you can check the link in the description if you fancy staying here whilst visiting Ephesus. Good morning and welcome back to Ayasoluk Hotel here in Selcuk. I am heading to Ephesus this morning. It was drizzling a little bit, but the weather seems just about fine right now. So I'm actually going to walk there from here. I think it's around 3 kilometers, under an hour's walk. And there's a couple of interesting things on the way that I also want to show. Leaving the hotel now. Hi, Mahaba. If, like me, you decide to walk to Ephesus from Selcuk, then be sure to stop here on the way. A very iconic site of the ancient world and one of its 7 wonders, the Temple of Artemis. A little bit disappointing maybe, just 1 column remains today. However, the Temple of Artemis is not to be laughed at. During its zenith, it had 127 of these columns, and now, today, it's just a field mostly occupied by goats. You might be able to see them walking through just the edge of the shot here, and cats. I do want to share with you one quote by the Antipater of Sidon, who is an ancient Greek poet who helped compile the list for the 7 wonders of the ancient world. And he was quoted as saying this: "I have set eyes on the wall of lofty Babylon, on which is a road for chariots, and the statue of Zeus, and the hanging gardens, and the colossus of the sun, and the huge labour of the high pyramids, and the vast tomb of Mausolos. But when I saw the house of Artemis that mounted to the clouds, those other marvels lost their brilliancy, and I said, Lo, apart from Olympus, the sun never looked on aught so grand." Basically, he's saying that this may have been the greatest of all the ancient wonders of the world, and if that was so, you can imagine just how spectacular it was. So, probably worth visiting if you're in the area, if you're visiting Ephesus, or just staying nearby in the town of Selcuk. So I've now finally arrived at Ephesus. I just entered over there for the ticket. Just 60 lira, which I think is quite reasonable considering it's one of Turkey's main tourist attractions. A city of over 250,000 inhabitants in its prime, and the Roman Empire's 4th largest after Cairo, Rome and Antioch. Although I got Cairo and Rome the wrong way around. Rome was the largest, I believe. I'm now approaching the Great Theatre, and it was capable of holding 25,000 people. So if you imagine, that's 10% of the city's population. From here at the top of the Great Theatre, you see the Aegean Sea in the distance, where the port of Ephesus would have been, transporting goods and people from what is now modern day Egypt, Greece, and most likely Italy, I would say, and linked the whole of the Roman Empire to Ephesus by sea. This is the Library of Celsus, and perhaps the best known building here in Ephesus. What's up? I'm now back here in Ayasoluk Hotel in Selcuk after walking back. I tried to film an outro while I was there in Ephesus, however the rain really started coming down and it ruined the audio on all those clips, so I'll just repeat what I said there now. After a century and a half of excavations, 80% of Ephesus is still yet to be unearthed, giving you an idea just how big it was. Not only was it a trading port, but also for pilgrims visiting the Temple of Artemis, which I went to earlier on as well. It was the biggest temple in the world, and people from all over would flock there. Tomorrow I'm going to be walking around a few places in Selcuk, as there are some points of interest that I think are worth adding on to the end of this video. Hello and good morning here from Ayasoluk Hotel. I am now here with my breakfast and I am just blown away by how many plates there are. So firstly I have some Turkish tea, çay, and some toast, an olive plate, cheese plate, fruit plate, some of this Turkish pastry with spinach and cheese in, I can't remember the name. Then a kind of dessert plate, you have this one sweet here, butter, jam, honey and chocolate sauce. Salad plate, vegetables and chips, and also some scrambled egg. So absolutely insane. I can't wait to get stuck in. So I've now left the hotel and I managed to polish off all of those plates, as many as I could. I'm now on the streets of Selcuk once again, in another quiet morning, and I'm heading to two places of interest, which are literally a couple minutes walk from Ayasoluk Hotel. The first one being the Basilica of St. John. To enter, 15 lira. However, that also includes the entrance fee to another of Selcuk's main attractions, which is the Ayasoluk Fortress, which you might be able to see in the distance between the gap there with the flag raised. This was a once great basilica built by a Byzantine emperor. It's kind of just atmospheric and quiet now on the hilltop with some good views. You can see the one lonely reconstructed figure of the Temple of Artemis. Can you imagine how good the view would have been of the temple when it was in its prime. I don't know what it is about Turkey, but there are just cats absolutely everywhere. Every old historical site, you'll see it crawling with cats. If seeing an old cistern where St. John wrote his part of the Bible interests you, then I would say also take note that there is the House of Virgin Mary very close to Ephesus. I didn't go there yesterday because of limited time, the extra budget needed to go there, etc., but I would have liked to have gone there, and I do think it is probably worth seeing. So if you're interested, the House of Virgin Mary is where Mary is supposed to have spent her later life, and it's just up the hill, not too far away from Ephesus, but you will need to organize a taxi driver to drive you there first, probably, then pick you up after you've been inside, then he'll drive you down the hill to Ephesus. You can visit Ephesus and then walk or take transportation back to Selcuk. After exiting the fortress and basilica, you can walk just a few minutes to reach the Ephesus Museum here. I've just been inside. It's 15 lira. It contains coins, jewelry, and statues of previous Roman emperors, all excavated from the city. And it's really interesting to go inside, and it kind of helps to bring Ephesus to life. I'm heading now into the town of Selcuk just to show you a little bit of what it's like, because it is quite charming, and then I'll wrap up the video. Old aqueduct here, and some more restaurants. Lots of locals as well in this area, not just tourists. Men drinking Turkish çay, enjoying their retirement, I suppose. Playing. There's a train station here in Selcuk, so you can use this if you don't fancy taking the bus. So I've now found a nice little local place to have my lunch. I've ordered some mushroom, egg and cheese on thin bread here, which is so good. It's not pita, Turkish pizza. It's got a different name, I'm not too sure. I'm going to end the video there. I'm heading to Izmir tomorrow on the bus, staying there with a local family. One more time, shout out to Ayasoluk Hotel for accommodating me, and I'll see you in Izmir. Peace.